Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
Welcome to Sporgy number 78. I am Chris.
I'm Rich.
I am the Iceman.
And this is number 78. Who is number 78?
Villanueva from Pittsburgh. Only guy that came out for the national anthem that one time.
I got Pavel Demitra. Played with Ottawa, and then pretty much came to prominence in St. Louis.
Yeah, I got nothing for 78.
Well, I could always be, conceited and say it's me. My high school number was 78 at home. Oh.
Well, hey, numbers between 1 and 100. It was bound to happen. One of us.
5, 6, and 24. Those were my numbers. So
I don't even remember.
Well, my number for away was 53, so, yeah.
I remember none of my numbers at all. So we are, let's see. We're right in the thick of NBA, right in the thick of NHL. You know, it's starting to the leagues are starting to take shape. Obviously, the football playoff picture is starting to take shape. The college football playoff picture this weekend. Holy shit!
Yeah, that got set. Who saw that coming?
I mean, we've beat the college playoff to death with how the three of us really don't get it, and yeah, this weekend did nothing to clarify it for any of us.
Actually, it kind of did. I was listening to the analysts talk about it. They had a couple of guests that just helped decide the rankings and everything. And apparently there's a lot of boosters and a lot of people from, the teams on these committee that help or that vote for, the top four. For example, people from Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson all had to leave the room because they had vested interest in teams that could be in the top four.
So what is it? You can't vote if your team's going to make it?
Right. Your vote won't count because it's an automatic.
All right. So does that explain why Michigan made a better bowl than Michigan State with a shittier record?
Well, I mean, to me it does. This is all politics. This has nothing to do with the game. Has nothing to do with the game, the players, their record. This has nothing to do with any of what happens on the field. This has to do with politics, not politics in the spectrum of government, but, college politics,
So in other words, they went from having the coaches AP poll to the top 25, which was picked by the computer, to a playoff, and it's just as much bullshit as every other way they came up with before now.
Actually, I think this is way worse because this is fixed. I mean, this is absolutely 100% fixed from the start of the season to the end.
Well, I mean, it explains why I've been hearing stories since before even, one game kicked off last weekend about how Saban's been campaigning for Alabama to end up in one of the 4 playoff spots. I'm like, how the fuck are you going to campaign for a playoff spot? You shouldn't be able to campaign for a playoff spot. Either you earned it or you did not. And that's all there is to it. But
Seems legit.
I mean, like Chris and I were talking during, in the pre-show, pretty much this smells like, oh, your reputation's going to get you in. Who your head coach is going to get you in. I mean, dude, their last game was on the 25th. I mean, are you kidding me? What are you campaigning for? That's what and why is anyone listening to anybody who is campaigning?
That's what I'm saying, Rich. I think.
And how is that even a thing? Campaigning for a playoff spot.
I think this has a lot to do with the boosters, how much money they give with all of this. I think that's why Michigan got the better bowl game. I think that's why Alabama's in and not Ohio State. And believe you me, I cannot stand Ohio State. But I think they definitely needed to be there before Alabama did. And I honestly, truly believe this is all just money and politics in this way of thinking with our college playoff, whatever you want to call this shit. And that's why it never made sense to me. I'm sitting here watching football games going, they are way better than this team. Why in the hell are they so low ranked? And why is this? And then I listened a couple of times, like I said, to people being interviewed, and I'm like, aha. So it has absolutely nothing to do with the football team. Got it.
Aha. He beat Joe Lewis's ass. But no, man, seriously.
Earl, this is kind of one time where I agree with you with the tinfoil hat. I mean,
guys, college sports is, crooked as a fucking, as someone with scoliosis fucking spine, dude. I mean, come on, man. That's nothing new here. I mean, it's an old joke, but it's apt, USC gets caught cheating and Miami Toledo loses, 15 scholarships. That's how they punish, the non-showcase schools. SMU gets caught cheating, they get the death penalty. USC gets caught cheating, Ohio State gets caught cheating, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Miami gets caught cheating multiple times within a couple decades.
Notre Dame gets caught cheating.
Yeah. Penn State gets, that whole scandal. Death penalty, I mean, it was talked about, but honestly, I don't think it was on the table. Not like, with SMU, it was, you knew it was coming. And why? Because Southern Methodist University is not the team they're not a marquee team in college football. And I agree with you when you say, why the fuck is Michigan playing in a better bowl than State? I guarantee you part of it is that somebody got in somebody's ear and said, in the bowl selection committee, and said, that U of M travels a lot better than State does. So you can put that.
I'm thinking they got in their pockets too. Really, I do.
Oh, duh. I guess for me, how I know this is all bullshit? One word. Auburn. Auburn beat the number one team in the country twice this year, and they end up number 7? How does that work?
Exactly. Really.
See, and
they beat Georgia when they were number 1. They beat Alabama when they were number 1. And they end up number 7?
Well, yeah.
Not even
Georgia
in the CFP?
But Georgia came back and beat Auburn, though.
Well, okay. This is something that Harbaugh said a couple weeks ago, and I can agree with it. He thinks they need to expand the college football playoff system, and he was savaged by all the State fans saying, "Oh yeah, the only reason you wanted expanded is so your team, your shitty team has a better chance of getting in the playoffs." Well, let's be honest here. We have 5 power conferences. You have Notre Dame, which is an independent. The chances are you're going to have 2 teams from one conference who deserve to be there. So right there, you're already excluding, if you only have 4 spots, you're excluding one of the teams from a Power 5 conference. Now you're excluding 2 teams from 2 conferences. Doesn't it make sense to at least expand it to 6 games? 1 from the Power 5, 1 independent, and break them up like that, where there's 6 divisions. There's 5 Power 5 conferences and your independents and the rest of your conferences.
Well, if you have 2 teams from the same conference that are supposed to be in the playoffs, then you should have a championship game, which they do. And that eliminates one of those teams real quick.
No, like I said, this has never been college football's strongest suit whatsoever. Period. And I mean, this is where they open themselves up every single fucking year for a lot of valid criticism in my book. And I think, excuse me, I think what a lot of people in the college football world think is that, boy, we better have some good fucking playoff games to take everybody's mind off this shit. Because if you have two blowouts on the way to a national championship and then a team blows out the other team at the national championship, it doesn't look good for the selection committee. So, yeah.
I don't. When I was growing up, I never really paid attention to the quote national title game or the national champions. But the more I started paying attention and the more I started watching it, the more I got confused. And then that answered it this weekend when I was watching, the interviews and stuff. And I'm like, it's all bullshit. Even back in the day when it was computers and all this, it's all bullshit. Because you could select a national championship via the playoffs, and it might not even be the best team. Like Chris pointed out, you have, Auburn beating the number one team twice this year, and they're ranked 7th. But you have a team like, Ohio State ranked 5th, and they've lost 2 games to nobody. Come on now.
But Ohio State has had the toughest schedule of the top 5 teams.
See, and therein lies the rub. How do you value a team? Is it like Wisconsin, for example? Wisconsin didn't have a real hard schedule at all. But until this last weekend, they were undefeated.
Well, yeah, because they finally played a real team.
Right. So
if you look at Wisconsin's schedule, this is the first real team they played all year.
Right. Well, UCF is undefeated, and they're what, 10th? So yeah, are you placing?
They're once again.
Right, but are you placing blame on the team for not having the hard schedule? That's not their fault, is it?
But
I mean,
no.
You have to.
But if you look at UCF's schedule, they played nobody. Their whole season, nobody with parentheses at all. That's why they're down where they're at. I mean, I understand that. Here's who they played. FIU, whoever what was that? Florida International.
Yeah.
Memphis, yep. Georgia Tech, Maryland, Maine, Memphis, Cincinnati. Who the hell is ECU? Eastern Connecticut or Eastern Carolina? Navy, PEAY? Who the fuck is that? I don't even know who that is. But yeah, SMU, Connecticut, Temple. Again, Connecticut and Temple. If this were basketball, I'd be impressed. Yeah, USF and Memphis again. So, yeah. It's a big list of nobody. I'm surprised they're even where they're at. But I mean, again, they didn't lose anything. But still. It's all a big fucking mess.
Well, definitely. Man.
And nobody understands it.
Like I said, no system they've come up with in my lifetime is everybody happy with. I mean, they got tired of having co-national champions because the coaches poll versus the AP poll. So then they had the computer selection shit, and no one was happy with that. And now they have a selection committee. And obviously, anyone with half a brain's like, oh, okay. So you're going to remove machines. Oh, I mean, you can program them to, I guess, favor one, some schools over others. But you're going to replace them with humans who you can fucking bribe? Come on now.
I just don't understand why there isn't a playoff system where the winner of each fucking conference, everybody plays each other. Like, why is that so hard?
That's what I've been saying. And like I said, when Harbaugh come out and gave his opinion, people come out and say, oh, it's just because you're trying to get your shitty team in there. Well, first of all, he didn't finish high enough to even be close to being in the playoffs. So what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Nothing. That's just something that people are going to throw out there because they're hating on him. And believe me, when he deserves hate, I'll be right there leading the fucking hate train. You don't deserve hate on this one. I mean, it's 6 playoff spots, or 8 playoff spots, or a play-in game. Something. Come up with something. Jesus fucking Christ! Give the teams the right to settle it on the field, not in some fucking closed door meeting between the people who make the selections.
What we're saying is, in our world, Ohio State makes the playoffs. People.
Yeah.
We're from Michigan, so we mean business. Because this conversation ends with the Buckeyes making the playoffs, which they should have.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Dude, they beat on Wisconsin.
Well, I mean, still, it is Wisconsin. Just saying. I mean, Wisconsin.
They beat Joe Lewis's ass. Wisconsin
is an issue for Michigan, maybe State. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You start playing the big boys, and I don't think they have that bad of a problem. See, I don't know. I mean, dude, you gotta put the teams in there that I don't know. You gotta expand the playoffs. That's the only way to make it fair. It's the only way to keep all this fucking tinfoil hat bullshit out of it. That's all there is to it. But it's not going. Here's the deal. You figured they would love the idea of expanding the playoffs.
Yes, think of all of the extra football you could play in December. NCAA.
Not just
You
that.
have a whole month.
It's just
of college football playoffs.
Money. I mean, it's all you have to. That's all you have to do to convince most of these fucking schools. And let's be honest, if you're playing for a team who's a football factory and you look to be a draftable player, so at some point you're looking to be drafted. What's it going to hurt to play an extra 2-3 games or 1 or 2 games? Because when you go to the pros, you got a 4-game preseason and a 16-game fucking regular season. That's if you don't make playoffs. You might as well get them ready to play more games than they play in college. I just don't see what the problem is. It's people who defend the 4 teams. I'm like, a 4-team playoff. I'm like, 121, 125, something like that. College football programs. Yes, most of them are fucking garbage, but you're going to tell me 4 spots is who's going to decide who's the best out of all them programs? Come on now.
Well, just like you said in this show, Rich, you have 5 power conferences, and Notre Dame is an independent. If Notre Dame ever was really supposed to be in the playoffs, then you have 2 people, as it stands right now, 2 teams, 1 conference and Notre Dame that are left out. Because there's only 4 spots. If you put Notre Dame in, then you got 2 other conferences that don't have a representative. And as it stands right now, the Big Ten doesn't have a representative.
I mean, here's the Power 5. The ACC, Big 12, Big 10, Pac-12, SEC. 1 team from each of those conferences. Whoever finishes last plays the team with the best record from independent or the other mid-major conferences. That's the play-in game. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you'd have to go to 8. You'd have to go to 8 spots, or have like a wild card round or something. Bottom line is, goddamn it, if we really wanted to, we could sit down for free and figure this out. There's people being paid millions of dollars to come up with this shit, who are coming up with the path of most resistance and throwing it in everybody's face. I mean, come on now. I don't know.
See, while we're on college football, you see the finalists for the Heisman came out a little bit before we started recording.
No, I didn't see that.
2 quarterbacks and a running back. Oklahoma quarterback Baker Mayfield, Louisville quarterback Lamar Jackson, and Stanford running back Bryce Love. All 3 are finalists to be on the Cleveland Browns next season.
Oh, that's terrible. How in the hell did they leave Barkley off?
I was going to say, where's your boy? Guys like Emmitt Smith, fuck Barry Sanders, Jim Brown's baby.
I'll guarantee you he goes ahead of Love. I'll guarantee it. Right now. Ice. My name. Calling it.
I don't know. That Heisman, being a finalist, that's some pretty good cachet.
Fuck that. He could win the Heisman. He'll still go behind fucking Barkley.
He ain't gonna.
Oh, no. Mayfield has that shit sewn up. That's his.
Cleveland Brown quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
God
Better
help
get
him
used
if
to
he
that
wins
shit.
the national fucking title.
Yeah.
That's
Better get
a
used to hearing
golden
that.
ticket. That's a golden ticket. That's
First start-
the Willy Wonka ticket to Cleveland.
Start pricing out loss in Cleveland.
Well, I mean, dude, fucking okay. You know you're going to Cleveland if you're the best player in the draft. Do you go manufacture some bullshit just to get you to drop just so you go to a better team?
Guy like posts a video on his own Instagram of him beating up his own mom.
No, I'm not even
fuck
bullshitting.
her.
I'm not even bullshitting. Like seriously, I mean nothing major. You don't need to get yourself fucked over. But like, I don't know, get caught shoplifting crab legs. Something. I mean, something
Post
stupid.
a video of snorting a white powder substance. But
No,
Cleveland's so
because-
clever, when they do the test, they find out it's just aspirin. You're still coming to Cleveland, fucker.
Well, you remember if you're a Goodell, you got to be careful. You can't do anything too crazy. I would say normally just get into a bar fight like in the off season,
That's a
but
domestic dispute.
yeah, that could be
6-game suspension.
yeah.
Punch a DJ.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen. You're going to get drafted. There's going to be an investigation your first season, and your second season you're going to be handed an 8-game suspension.
Oh, bullshit. That never happens, Rich. Never.
You'll appeal it 4 times. Then you'll finally serve it. Team will lose you right when they need you.
Tinfoil hats all around.
Nah, it's not tinfoil hats. It's the fucking truth. All you got to do is look at the goddamn league and its commissioner.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's one of the things that's it's funny. Someone asked me.
Why don't you ask Ray Rice? Oh, wait, you can't. 'Cause
Yeah, exactly
He is
right.
vaporized.
Yeah, someone asked me. I don't know, last couple of weeks. They're like, "What the fuck's the deal with the NFL?" Because on one hand, it acts like it wants to come down hard on certain things, and on the other hand, they act like they just don't give a fuck. And I'm like, what's up with the NFL? You're exactly right. And it just confused them even more. And I'm like, unless there's a big fucking outcry over the shit, they don't give a fuck. Period. The Ray Rice shit, until the video come out, it wasn't career over for Ray Rice. It was, 1 or 2 games he got suspended at first, and they amended it once the video come out. And then there was I didn't see the video. There was a bunch of, Three Stooges, or not Three Stooges, but Laurel and Hardy. Not Laurel and Hardy. Who is it? Abbott Costello. Who's on first? Bullshit. But did you see the video? I didn't see the video. What video? That video? I didn't see that video. Did you see that video? Did you say I didn't see it? Bunch of bullshit like that. So, bottom line is they're going to do what the fuck they want to do. Depends on what a player does. If he gets into a fucking fight, into a one-on-one fight with a guy in a bar and there's no video of it, he's probably going to get a game or 2. Somehow it turns into a domestic dispute. A woman was involved in any way, even if she wasn't hit. If it was a fight over a woman, you can probably add 2 more games to that. So now he's looking at 2 to 4 game suspension.
God forbid the beer was flying and hit her.
Well, and then I was just going to say, then you can just be a bitter ex-girlfriend and just make an accusation to where the police are like, oh, we got nothing. There's no proof that she did all this shit. And then you still get 6 games for it, which you don't get paid for, by the way. You sacrifice that game check. It's not like you can make it up. So, yeah, hey, good times. Yeah. Go first in the NFL. Enjoy the bullshit that comes with it.
Yeah.
Can I just say,
Good. So good luck, Baker Mayfield.
how the hell is what's his fuck's name? I don't even know his name. Lamar Jackson up for Heisman again. Okay,
he's still in college.
That's my point.
Well, hold on. It says he had a comparable season in 2017. He bumped up his completion percentage 4 points to 60.4. Nearly matched his passing yardage at 34.89. He cut down on his interceptions by 3, and he threw 25 touchdowns. He rushed for 1443 and 17 rushing touchdowns.
What's Louisville's record?
He had the same season as last year, basically, is what the article from CBS Sports is saying. I couldn't tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about all of this, playoffs and teams in the playoffs. Is Louisville even ranked?
Stand by.
No, Louisville is not ranked.
No, sir.
Right.
No parentheses.
So
Well, I
once
mean, I think
again,
you're making a point.
I mean,
you're making a point that it doesn't seem like he's going to be the favorite.
I just don't understand, I guess.
Baker Mayfield's definitely got a lot more going for him. So, all right. Shall we move on from the college football talk?
Well, yeah, I was just saying, I don't understand LeVar being a, quote, finalist. Team not even ranked, not close to a playoff spot. I don't get it.
But is that what it's all about traditionally with the Heisman, though? Or is it about your individual performance? Do the winners, have they generally come from teams that are going to the playoffs?
Well, I mean, I thought they had to have, some kind of moxie. What, Louisville's 8-4 for the season, bro. Come on now. I mean, if he was 11-1, 10-2 even, maybe, give him Ohio State's record. I see it. Well, see, you're 8-4.
Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Johnny Football, RG3.
By the way, interesting stat I heard yesterday. Cleveland has not won a game on Sunday since Johnny Football was starting for them.
Damn, Cleveland.
Yeah. almost makes you feel a little bit good to be a Lions fan, huh?
Almost.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Yeah, Cam Newton, Mark Ingram, Sam Bradford, Tim Tebow. That's your last 10 years of Heisman winners.
Yeah, but most of them won a fucking championship, dude.
Well, that's okay. I was asking a question. I wasn't debating you. I was asking a question. Do Heisman winners generally come from teams who have, went on to go to the playoffs or win a title?
And the survey says?
Yes.
Yes.
At least the last 10 years. Wow, Carson Palmer won in 2002. He's still playing. Anyway. So,
when did Reggie Bush win it? Before it got taken from
2005?
Oh, yes. But didn't he have to vacate it? Because there is no 2005 on this list. It goes from 2004 to 2006.
Yep. So, yeah, that's what happened with him.
Right, but he also won the championship that year, so.
It's true. And then Pete Carroll went and ran to Seattle. Peace!
Excuse me, I got to get out of here. I got a plane to Seattle to catch.
Yep. Oh, yeah, all those promises they made to you. Oh, yeah, our brother. Oh, yeah, fuck that. We got caught later. No one ever talks about that. No one ever talks about how Pete Carroll did those guys. But I guess a couple Super Bowls will.
Well, it's not even just that. It's no one talks about the fact that that's how a lot of fucking college football coaches that get caught doing dirt deal with it.
Urban Meyer, remember his health. I have air quotes. That's works good for podcasting. Yeah, his health issues a few years ago. Oh yeah, I'm retiring. A couple years later. Oh yeah, it's crazy. I got bored. My health is good now.
Sorry, y'all. I got a dip set.
Yeah, funny how that works. I mean, but it's the truth. I mean, I'm waiting for Tressel's return. I mean, Sweater Vest is gonna come back to a major school before too long. And I mean, he left Ohio State, and there was a bunch of bullshit going on at Ohio State. I mean, look, no point in debating whether we feel what was going on was right or wrong. According to the NCAA, it violated their rules. That's what I mean. I mean, personally, I don't give a fuck. You want to sell your fucking shit? You want to sell your tickets to bowl games? Go ahead. They're yours. But apparently that's a no-no, according to NCAA.
Because, yeah, too, I mean, fucking, what's his name? Claret was the guy, too, that got railroaded in that whole deal. Tressel fucked him over and then pieced out on him and just threw him to the wolves.
Poor Maurice.
I mean, he helped Tressel throw him to the wolves. He was helping throw himself to the wolves, but still, like, that guy got boned.
Oh yeah, dude. But I mean, he wasn't helping his case when he was on Denver on the Broncos, and he doesn't have water in his water bottle. He's got raw vodka. He's drinking it out there in the practice field, drunk. I mean, come on, dude. What are you doing?
That's half admirable. Like, damn, dude. Like, that is I mean, that is commitment to your habit, I guess.
I
mean, if I was in my 20s, I'd stand and salute you. Like, respect.
But, yeah. It's for whatever reason, the coaches are allowed to get away with it. I guess the schools don't make that big of a deal about it because they figure, okay, we'll take this hit once every 15, 20 years, lose some scholarships, couple sanctions, whatever. And as long as we can keep getting away with what we're getting away with and they don't bust us big time, then fuck it.
Isn't that the last time Michigan beat Ohio State was in that transition period between the vest and Uncle Urban?
Yes, it was. Yeah. You had Hulkamania going on in Ann Arbor. Mr. I don't need a headset to call plays. But I do like how when he got the intern head coach job, I forget where he was, but they fired the head coach, made him intern head coach. Well, he put that headset on at that school. Not in Michigan, though.
Made sure he ordered a big headset, too. Oh, hey, look, guys, I'm wearing it.
Yeah, learn my lesson.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just one last quick thought. Think about it like this. You're a major school. You're a major player in college football. You know that you're along somewhere in that program, rules are being outright broken. Rules are being bent. Money's exchanging hands. You may not, even if you're the head coach and you don't know exactly where it's happening, you know it's happening somewhere in that program. So, you finally get hit. It's your turn. You got a little too blatant, a little too carried away with it. Your school takes the hit. Now, you leave, you jump ship. The school's fucked for a few years. But if you're a major school and you're a football factory and you're a powerhouse school, you're gonna bounce back from it. We've seen it. I mean, the only school who's never bounced back is SMU. That's because they said, no football program for a year. No, I mean, they cease to exist. That's what it takes to kill a program. Literally give it the death penalty. Yeah. So the major schools go, we'll take this slight hit, like I said, once every 15, 20 years, and we won't make that big deal about it because in 10 years, it'll be someone else in our conference's turn to take the hit. And that might be the little bump we need to get over the hump to get back to the top of the college football heap. That's just my theory. Because like I said, if that isn't the gentleman's agreement behind doors, I would be pissed if I was the athletic director of some of these major schools. I'd be like, why the fuck is the coach that committed all this shit or allowed all this shit to happen allowed to walk? Why the fuck are the students allowed to walk away and immediately go join the NFL and make millions of dollars? And we're sitting back here with a coach who had nothing to do with it and kids who had nothing to do with it paying the price for what they did. I'd be pissed.
Hey, it's abuse of power, man. I think if you really get down to it, it's whatever. I think we're getting a different conversation here of letting the athletes be the sacrificial lambs, so to speak. Like, fuck them. They're 18, they're 19, they'll be all right. I don't know. We'll never. One day, someone. I just have the feeling one day someone's going to get busted again, like SMU. You're kind of seeing it in basketball, but I'm talking about in football. One day they're just going to get into some program, just to be like, Jesus Christ. But doesn't this always come back to just pay the players?
It's one way.
All this shadiness, all this shit to go away. Just pay the fucking players.
It may not be the ideal solution, but it is the quickest, easiest solution to minimize the amount of temptation players feel to pull this shit and do dumb shit.
And coaches.
And coaches, yeah. That's true. I mean, dude, if you watch both part 1 and part 2 of the U, those documentaries, I mean, there were students like I forget the football I forget the quarterback. But he's a white boy, looks like he comes from a pretty solid middle class home. He's like, I'm seeing my classmates. I'm walking into the dormitory. They're walking out. They got ski masks and black leather gloves, and it's Florida in the summer. Where are you going? We're going to boost some car stereos. We got money to live off of.
Come on, man. I mean, because too, it's like a job. It takes up their time like a job. pay him like it's a fucking job. I mean, or if you don't want to pay him, give him some, give him some wham. Yeah, you're taking care of their shelter and their food, but give them some walking around money to take the temptation away.
Or better yet, the easiest thing to do is
give them a per diem per day or some shit like that.
The easiest thing to do is, if you're 18 and you're an American, you're an adult. You can put your name on the line that is dotted and go die for your country. So if you own yourself well enough to sell yourself to the United States government for X amount of years on a contract, then why the fuck aren't you allowed as an NCAA student to charge for your likeness to be used in things like video games and advertising, to where it's not even coming out of the school's pocket? And I mean, really, who are they gonna approach? Hey, we want to put you on the cover of NCAA, 19. We want you to here's the McDonald's endorsement. They're only going to go after the top people. I mean, let me tell you something. The guy fourth on the depth list for long snapper isn't collecting, 6-figure checks from boosters. He's replaceable. It's the top guys on the team that the boosters pay off. So allow them to do what any of us at 18 would be able to do, which is sell our likeness. Problem solved. And we would get a college football video game back, which I got to admit, that's a big upside to me. I miss my college football games.
Yeah, I'm not in agreement with paying the athletes. If we do that, we lose shit like, I don't know, athletes shoplifting in China. Those stories are too good to pass up.
Well, you're always going to have idiots, but gun to my head, Jameis Winston could have had as much money in the bank when he stole them crab legs as he does now, and he'd have probably took them crab legs. I mean, Captain Crab Leg was just like, his excuse was, I thought it was free. That's how grocery stores work, don't you know?
Just walk in and people hand you shit.
Yeah, no, that's called Sam's Club, and they're samples, asshole. They don't hand you a whole case of the shit and let you walk through the front door.
But man, it's another well-worn rug here on the show, but it gets back to someone like that's probably been having his ass kissed since he was 12 years old.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even
walk in places. They think the world works like hot chicks probably think the world works. What, you just walk into a bar and drinks just show up? What? It's crazy.
You mean I never have to pay for anything? Yeah, until you hit that wall, sweetheart.
Exactly.
And depending on how much coke and cigarettes you do, that wall's either coming at 25 or 30. So enjoy the ride, because eventually, them saddlebags show up, and that ATM, it's a little rusty, Doesn't spit out the cash as easily as it did at 18.
Yeah, then the drink starts showing up to somebody else's girl.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a Jameis. Hey, man, I thought you just walked into grocery stores and people gave you shit. That's how it works.
Oh, he went one further. His claim was that the manager handed it to him and said, here, take it. I'm like, damn, it's not bad enough you got caught stealing. You're trying to get the manager fired on the way out the door?
What is it? It's like that skit on Saturday Night Live when Eddie Murphy was the white guy. Here, just take it.
What are you doing? Don't pay for that paper. Just take it.
Come on, the President of the United States says you can just walk up to a woman and grab her by the pussy. That's the world we live in.
Yeah, but even he knew better than to walk out with a case of crab legs.
He just grab you by the pussy, crabs.
But he'll pay for. He'll grab you by the pussy, but he'll pay for the crab legs.
Exactly. Remember, this is a dude whose idea of flirting was to take a bitch shopping for furniture.
Yeah, I'll take her furniture shopping.
I mean, seriously. What are you going to do? I'm going to take this bitch shopping for furniture. Why? She your sister or your wife or your girlfriend? No, I'm just trying to hook up with her. Couldn't you buy her a drink like a normal person?
No, I'm going to buy her a couch.
I'm going to buy her a bed and teach her how to use it.
That is something that I would not be shocked if video come out of him saying that.
All right. So from college football to let's go to college basketball, sort of. Guess who's back in the news? Our favorite. Big Daddy Ball.
LeVar. The Triple B.
Pulling Melo out of, UCLA because he doesn't agree with the punishment. It's
Isn't
better
it
than Chinese jail.
Wait. Did he pull Mello out or did he pull LiAngelo out?
Oh, I'm sorry, LiAngelo. My bad. Yeah, isn't Mello still in high school or whatever?
Yes.
But yeah, sorry, he pulled LiAngelo. Oh, no, the idiot who stole the sunglasses in China. He pulled him out of UCLA because he didn't agree with the punishment. To which I say again, it's better than Chinese jail.
By the way, I just wanted to say I was actually a little shocked with this myself. Because for whatever reason, I had only heard they shoplifted. I didn't hear the details. Turns out they stole from multiple stores. So, way to go, assholes. Like, hey, we're in a foreign country that, locks people up for life for dumb shit. Hey, let's steal from this store. Hey, we got away with it. Let's go to another one and do it again. Idiots. Sorry, I just had to add that in there.
Nice parents, by the way. Can we play that card? You have children who have the world by the ass, who are one of the top men college basketball programs in the country, who will most likely go pro. And yeah, it's. I mean, I get it. I was a teenager. I did dumb shit, but I'd say by like 19. I mean, to me, shoplifting was what? Middle school? Oh, by 19, you figured to have that shit out of your system, realize, hey, I've got a pretty decent opportunity here. Let's not fuck this shit up.
Yeah, the only people I know who continued to steal, like in a shoplifting manner after high school even, was kleptos. I dated a couple, You go to a restaurant, you get in the car, the bitch opens her purse and she's got wait a minute, why do you have 6 glasses, 4 plates, and 3 sets of fucking silverware? Where'd that come from? Why do we have 500 sugar packets in a centerpiece? What do we need that for?
Now, see, I will cop to being at a bar and liking the glass, being like, I'm taking this glass home. Done that a couple times.
I actually went to a steak restaurant and took the fucking steak knife because I was going back to a hotel. How the fuck was I going to cut the steak in a hotel? Plastic silverware doesn't work.
Well, I mean, dude, whatever. I've seen all those. I've even seen someone walk out of a bar. Yeah. Definitely the statute of limitations are up on this. So I know how much those rugs cost. They're not cheap. And like a huge floor area rug from a B-dubs. He just rolled it up, throwed it over his. I'm seriously like 4 foot by 10 foot rug. He just rolled it up, threw it over his shoulder, walked out, threw it in the back of his car. It was sticking out the window, his back window. Got in the front seat, drove off. A couple of years later, we had a rehearsal spot. Same guy shows up. Here you go. You need a rug for your rehearsal spot. Unrolls this fucking thing. I'm like, holy shit, dude.
Balls.
You've had that whole time. And if you ask him, how'd you get away with it? He goes, you just act like you belong.
Yeah.
Walk up, roll up the rug, throw it on your shoulder, walk out the door. Unless an employee sees you, everyone else just thinks, oh, he must be the rug guy.
Yep. Yeah, I'm from Cintas.
Yeah. It's it's 1:30 in the morning on a Saturday. Yeah, I'm from Cintas. Yeah.
Yeah. I take this rug to be laundered. But again, Daddy Ball, I mean, we were talking about in our pre-show meeting, the shit he's saying again, I mean, this guy lives in an augmented reality. He says it's like they're in jail. He's talking about they're going through worse punishment here than they did in China. Really? Do you honestly believe that, LeVar?
Yeah, I mean, there's no need.
I think he thinks he believes it.
This is what I love. This statement. There's no need to break down a kid's spirit for making a mistake. Oh, really? Really? So you rather they have stayed in China and faced the punishment there? Because I guarantee you, being suspended from a college and free to leave and go find another college to play for would have been the least of their worries if they'd have stayed there.
Well, actually, didn't he say that he's done with college? He's going to focus on him going pro?
Okay.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. You ready? You ready for 2 of these motherfuckers in the NBA?
Lonzo Part 2.
Well, my question is, how does he go pro without playing a year in college? And if he has to play a year in college, if he transfers, he has to sit out a year, like in football. Those were my questions, and apparently they're not so easy to find the answers to because we looked, and there's no hard and fast answers on the internet for it. So unless we're just stupid and looked right over it,
Which is possible.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe there's some kind of loophole. Like, hey, he was on a team. They wouldn't let him play anymore. I could see something like that going down.
yeah.
He technically played college ball.
Yeah, but I'll
For
ask that
3
question
months.
again, though. Is an NBA team going to draft him? I mean, after all this shit?
I hate to say it. Good God, I hate to bring this up. But his name might help put some butts in the seats for some struggling teams.
Sign him for his rookie year and release him?
Well, I don't think he's going to the Lakers. Let's put it that way.
That would be fucked up.
Yeah, if Daddy Ball thinks that all three of those guys are going to play on the same team and they're all going to be drafted by the same team, unless he's got pictures of Magic Johnson with his dick and children, I don't see how the Lakers go along with that one.
Three balls and LeBron. It's starting lineup is 3 balls and LeBron.
Yeah.
And some tall guy at center.
So yeah, I mean, we kind of expected it, didn't we? I think we were all pretty much said it. When he released this is all I'm allowed to say for right now, is like, yeah, okay, that's nice, but we knew more was coming. And once the suspension was handed down and it was indefinite, I was thinking, okay, how long until he pulls his son out of that college? And honestly, the only thing I thought that might keep him from doing that is if it would fuck up his eligibility for the draft. Doesn't appear that it's going to, so full steam ahead, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I said in the pre-show. I'm having a really hard time buying that this is a bit from LeVar anymore. I think this motherfucker actually believes he's special.
Yeah, I don't
and
think
above
this is a bit,
everybody
man.
else.
This guy is delusional.
No, this is at least 20 years of a father going, I can't wait to live my fantasies of being a pro basketball player out through my sons. And he is jumping in both feet. I mean, fuck that. He ain't jumping in both feet. He's jumping in head first into the water. He hasn't even checked to see how deep it is. He's just hoping that he don't crack his fucking skull. And I mean, this might be this might be the misstep he makes. And I'm going to be honest with you, if he fucks up one of his kids' careers and the other two go on to have good careers, the middle one is the one to fuck up. Think about it. The oldest one, he's probably going to be the most hands-off on the oldest one. So he's only going to get worse. Now he's pulling LiAngelo out of school. And if that fucks up...
He's going to get Menendez, man, I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm going to take it that far, but I mean, yeah. There's probably going to be, I picture some lawsuits about 15 years down the road. Mismanagement of money, whatever, something.
I don't know about lawsuits, but I definitely see a Jerry Springer or like a Maury Povich show or maybe a Oprah episode. My daddy controlled my life and ruined it.
Well, I mean, dude, here's the other thing. A family spokesman added that LiAngelo and LeVar appreciate UCLA for everything, despite the circumstances that led to the suspension. Don't act circumstances.
Yeah, don't act like he's the victim here.
Like he just tripped and fell into stealing some shit. I mean, seriously. It's like, get the fuck out of here. These aren't circumstances. This is shit brought about by his own stupid fucking decisions and his own creation. Period. All there is to it. It wasn't walking down the road and an asteroid hit him and it fucked his life up.
Yeah, someone was like, hey man, why don't you hold these sunglasses for me? No.
Dude, he walked in and the manager gave it to him. What do you want?
These are called consequences, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens. You weren't like a victim of circumstance. No. Make him a victim in this shit.
Well, you gotta be that way to UCLA because when LaMelo graduates, he's supposed to go to UCLA, right? So you gotta keep the ties tight there.
We'll see if that even fucking happens, period. I can't imagine that. You gonna pull your kid out of a college and then send your other kid to it? Come on now. Obviously, Daddy Bell thinks that, or Ball thinks that his kid should get special treatment above and beyond.
This kid did get special treatment above and beyond. He's home, ain't he?
Well, I'm just saying, even more so than
It's
that.
not special enough, Earl. It's not special enough. He shouldn't be suspended indefinitely. Come on, he's just a kid. He's 19 years old. Shut up.
Yeah, I know. Where was all this just a kid shit when we were that age?
I know, right?
Because I needed it a few times.
I remember, man. When I turned 18, I remember joking with everybody, like, I can now officially be detained for questioning. Like, yeah, must be nice. But anyway, so we did it. Hey, we did an hour in college. I think that's like a record for us. Let's move into the pros. I believe, Rich, you had an interesting story from the hockey realm. Story that's kind of getting buried.
Yeah, which is kind of, I mean, excuse me. I don't know if you're going to think it's strange after I read you the story, but I think it's strange with everything going on and people crying that they want athletes to shut up and put their money where their mouth is. So this is from hockeyfeed.com. Basically, PK Subban has set up a program that he looks to build a bridge between police officers and their family, and as the article says, underprivileged youth, which I think is code word for inner city, which is code word for black youth, to where he has them meet, they eat dinner, he pays for all this, they go to his suite in Nashville, he meets with them before the game, he plays the game, he meets with them after the game, sits down, talks with them. And guess what? Amazingly, when you put police officers and their family in the same room with an underprivileged youth in his family, hey, guess what? Everyone starts to be humanized to each other. They're not just the asshole who's the enemy because that's what the TV told me to fucking think. The journalist that was there, this is his report. He said they laughed, they took pictures with Subban, and then it was off to dinner for Metro Nashville police officer Kristen Morgan, her wife, Lindsay, Hunters Lane High School sophomores, A.J. Branham and Brandon King, and D'Angelo Bennett, father of Brandon and uncle of A.J. These 5 people who would not have had any reason to get together otherwise were about to spend the next 5 hours together. A day later, it was still being discussed. The boys haven't stopped talking about this, and I think they'll look at things differently from now on, Bennett said. Even me, I'm 41. I never sat down and had a conversation with a police officer before. Hell, it changed my view. I mean, right there, boom. Isn't it what the fucking point of all this shit is? Isn't this the point of, at least in theory, what all this protesting is for everybody to get on the same page, everybody try to have a little bit of understanding where the other side's coming from? But we can get in that in a minute. Goes on the article saying Subban takes care of the game tickets, dinner, meets with the group prior to and after the game to lift their spirits and give them a few hours to forget about everything on the outside. This is the second time the flamboyant defenseman has made such a huge commitment to the community after donating $10 million to Montreal Children's Hospital. Okay, this ain't a baseball player making $300 million on a contract. This is a fucking hockey player who played for the Montreal Canadiens, who was getting paid in Canadian dollars. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't even making American dead presidents. And he put $10 million towards the Children's Hospital and started this program. Now, here's my thing. Where the fuck is this in the news? I mean, it's got everything you think they would want. It's got I don't even think it's arguably, he's the best known black player in the NHL. He's one of the at least top, 10, arguably. I think you can make a case for top 5 defensemen in the league. It's what everybody who was mad at the people who protested the national anthem and took a knee, he's doing what they all said they wanted to see done. This is sitting down people from a community who normally don't have any interaction with police officers unless they see them coming the other way. So, I mean, it wasn't that kind of like, a lot of the point of the Black Lives Matter movement was to basically force municipalities to sit down and to force police to stop looking at the beat that they patrol as, hey, this is an occupied fucking war zone, and everybody that I see is my enemy, and you get that face-to-face policing, which everybody agrees is what's been missing so much in the last 40, 50 years.
Well, it's something I say on this podcast and the other podcast we do together on Regimented all the time. It doesn't fit the story. It doesn't fit the narrative.
Oh, it's not only that, it kills the narrative. It kills the story. It kills their bread and butter. Their biggest moneymaker is Black Lives Matter and race issues and black versus white. That's how they make their money.
Yeah, it's not dividing us up. It's bringing us together. And that doesn't go with the current storyline of everything.
Right. You start broadcasting this shit, people are like,
NHL based. I'll say what we're all thinking too. It's NHL. It's the fourth sport that gets the least amount of press.
And I mean, look, here's the deal. This is just, you can do your own research. Don't believe me. But unless things have changed drastically, and I mean drastically, in the last 3-4 years, per capita, the NHL and NHL players give way more to charity and give way more back to the community than any of the other major sports in this country. And that's the thing. They don't get the fucking... Everything doesn't come to a stop. It's not, oh, hey, look, we're going to get every film crew and E60 and HBO Real Sports and everybody else out here, Fox Sports 1 out here because... here's some kid with terminal cancer and this is his Make-A-Wish thing. That doesn't happen with these stories. A lot of times it's beat reporters, local reporters. Maybe if the family's from out, far enough away from the town that it's happening in, a local news reporter will follow the family. I mean, you don't hear about these things, but they're going on. And I mean, it's a rare moment for this podcast, at least. Hey, pay a little bit more attention. Notice the fucking positive shit going on. So it's real easy, and we do it ourselves every week to bitch about all the negative shit. Like, to me, it's just hockey or not, it just blows my mind. An athlete who's, I mean, $10 million to him is not like $10 million to fucking, who's someone who signed in baseball for a ridiculous amount just recently, like a Maglio or a
A-Rod.
Yeah, A-Rod. That $10 million to them is like, give a fuck. I make $260 million. I make $180 million. I don't give a shit. $10 million? That's a tax write-off on top of it? Shit.
Well, this season in football, we mentioned it on this podcast, the Philadelphia Eagles player that donated his entire salary to charity.
Yep. But even that story didn't get as much press as I thought it should. In fact, some of the press it got from the mainstream sports media was almost cynical. Like, yeah, okay, way to draw attention to yourself and raise your Q rating. Really? Is that where we're at? I mean, I can understand if he had just committed like some crime and was given some, community service shit. Then all of a sudden they come out and they wanted to get their pictures taken and all this and their charities out there. Yeah, I'd be cynical about that. All right, because there's plenty of room for it. And it rightfully deserves to be scrutinized like that. Someone coming out with no reason to do that, to just do it, because they feel it's the right thing to do, we shouldn't have to hunt for those type stories. But
happy doesn't sell nowadays. Gloom and doom does.
Well,
it's our bread and butter, son.
There is something to be said about Subban. Yes, he's black. Yes, he's an athlete, but he's also Canadian, and they're just way nice guys.
I mean, I got to tell you something, man. I've known quite a few Canadians, but they got to be tired of that fucking bullshit. You got to be like, have you ever seen Canadian hockey moms in the stands during the travel games? We ain't that nice. You ever seen when their team loses a Stanley Cup final? Hey, look up Vancouver riots about that shit, all right? They're not all that nice.
Yeah, but Canadians are extremely nice. They just are. They have their moments like in everybody else, but overall, they're nice.
I mean, I guess. There's a lot worse stereotypes you could be fucking saddled with.
That's true.
It's not just that. It's, like you just said, Rich, saddled with. I mean, a black athlete, that did this, it would to me, make a huge difference if he was a Canadian. Because that, Subban, bless his heart for trying to do all this, is just that Canadian in him going, come on, guys, can't we all just get along?
Yeah, well, he ain't exactly the clean. He's never going to be in the final for the Lady Byng. Right? He's not exactly the most, he ain't Pavel Datsyuk out there. He ain't Gretzky out there. All right. I mean, he's got his rough edges. So, but once again, that's I've read, God, I don't know, dozen, maybe 1.5 dozen hockey biographies throughout the years. And no matter what biography it is, it always says the same thing. The dirtier the guys are considered on the ice those same guys are usually the most charitable off the ice. Like for all the shit that, all the enforcers and, that you've heard, they're assholes and, they'll call someone a racial slur or talk about someone's dead granny or some bullshit like that. They're usually the ones at the Children's Hospital donating their time, doing all this shit, and they're not calling press conferences to draw attention to it. So maybe it's like ingrained in their Canadianness, their Canookiness. Like, hey, we can be dirty on the ice, but we got to be really nice off, guys. You got to make
Isn't
up
that the whole point of charity, though? Is you're not supposed to tell people about it?
Yeah, I think that is actually.
I mean, in theory,
Well, look at Mike Ilitch, like how he was paying Rosa Parks' rent. That didn't come out till after he died. He didn't want anybody to know about that. Like, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
well, it's of people who have given a lot to charity, and we only found out the extent they gave after they died. I think of John Candy and I think of Chris Farley. Apparently both those guys were like, and we're not talking, Chris Farley, he was a wild man. We're not talking he got drunk and handed money to strangers and homeless people. We're talking he went and volunteered at, the Catholic Church in his hometown, making food, taking people's meals. Yeah, shit like that. We're talking the real nitty-gritty shit. We're not talking throw money at a problem and go, okay, I did my bit. I paid my guilty conscience to go away. But the only time you heard about it is after those guys died. And I mean, to me, I agree with you. That's the way charity's kind of supposed to be. But then again, nowadays, everything's either a great chance for publicity or a wasted chance for publicity once you reach a certain level of fame. So...
And you might try to keep it low key, but everyone's got a fucking camera on their phone now, so
yeah,
there's also that variable too.
But
I don't know. One of the biggest things I've seen about charity given, just in the recent years, was when Hurricane Katrina hit Louisiana, and they interviewed what the hell's that diva's name? She plays in Las Vegas. Celine Dion. They interviewed her, and they were like, hey, so we heard you gave $1 million and donated that to... And Celine Dion went off on CNN. If you guys haven't seen that video, you got to watch it. Look up Celine Dion just went off on CNN.
But I am Celine Dion. You do not talk to me this way.
Did she drop an F-bomb? What the fuck?
Almost, dude. Seriously, she almost did. She almost started cussing him out. She just went, how can you talk about money at a time like this?
Oh,
she's like, how can you talk about money at a time like this? So I donated $1 million. So what? People are dying. People are dead. Just totally annihilated.
$1 million is pocket change to you.
But I haven't seen it. I have heard that video though. Somebody played it on a radio show. And now that you are quoting it, I remember hearing that audio.
Yeah, she just went off. And I mean, I guess that's kind of what we're talking about, here is you don't publicize your donation. You don't, make a big mockery of it. And she really didn't. She was on there to really, to tell people to try to support the relief fund for Katrina. At that time was the biggest hurricane. And when they mentioned the money she gave, she just lost her goddamn mind. I was like, Celine, Aren't you from Canada? What the fuck?
No.
Calm
I
down.
am French. I am French Canadian. We are different.
So you're something. You're feisty
Starts-
Canadian. I don't know.
All of a sudden, she sounds like Beyonce. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. All of a sudden, that bullshit accent goes away, and it's just like straight hood. What?
She starts moving the neck and shit. Oh, no, you didn't. Uh-oh.
Yeah, neck rolling and snapping and sucking her teeth at you. And, bitch, let me tell you something. Starts taking off her shit, putting Vaseline on her face. Hold my fucking shoes. Hold my shoes.
Yeah,
Puts her hair in a bun. This is it.
No,
It's
takes
on.
her hair out, hands it to her friend. That shit's expensive. Here, hold that. Well, all jokes aside, I saw this article. I was scrolling looking for more info on some of the charities that PK Subban had given to, and one of the articles that come up was Jose Altuve and J.J. Watt are Sports Illustrated Co-Sportsmen of the Year recipients, and J.J. Watt obviously raised like $33 million for the hurricane relief, and then I can't even tell you what Altuve fucking raised. I don't know, to be honest with you.
DJ Watt just have to like look into the camera and go, "Give me money."
Well, I gotta say this: they're both wearing the exact same suit, and J.J. Watt's sitting down, and Altuve's standing up, and
he's taller than him, right?
He's just about as tall as Altuve, yeah. and they both got their arms around each other, and it seriously looks like J.J. Watt is Altuve's dad when you look at the size of their hands.
It's like he's holding a tiny man.
Pretty much. It's like, hey, son, come here. Let's take a picture real quick. This is me and my 10-year-old son. You know?
He's a small dude.
Oh, he is, man. That's why it's like, hey, this is a different subject, but for a while there was a I would say probably mid 2000s. There was some people in the sporting world trying to create controversy where I didn't think there was one, where they would say that any smaller white player, usually an infielder of some sort, for case in point, Brandon Inge, they'd call him Scrappy, and that why don't you call black players that or players of color that? And it's like, I think we've pretty much proven that's bullshit because
we should reserve words like good for them.
Yeah, and I've heard Altuve called Scrappy. And I think Scrappy has more to do with your size compared to everybody else on the field than anything else.
He's itty bitty.
No, he is.
He's a miniature. He's a diminutive man.
I mean, his paycheck ain't
with MVP award and a World Series ring.
I'm saying, wait till contract signing time.
Yeah, I was saying, guess whose contract's going to be a lot fucking more next time around? His.
I mean, damn, I didn't really. Yeah, 5'6". That's it. Wow.
He's itty bitty. Chris, you need to look at that link I posted in the chat. Holy shit, I forgot how funny that was. Destroyed that reporter.
Oh, yeah. The Celine Dion link, yeah.
Celine.
Oh, my God, that was funny.
Well, I mean, from, a player who went above and beyond to... It wouldn't be Sporgy if we didn't dive into the nonsensical. I hope you stretched before you made mental leaps like that, because if not, you're going to pull something. Odell Beckham Jr. points out that he feels there's a double standard in the media's reaction to different players' sideline outbursts, and of course, it has to do with Tom Brady getting into a verbal altercation with Josh McDaniels, Pat's OC, and Beckham was, the outburst from Brady was brought up by many on social media as the media would portray it. On social media, as to how the media would portray it had it been other players like Beckham. Beckham, who's known for his outbursts on the sidelines and the outrage towards him, is, wow, this is not very well edited or proofread.
But I mean, But right there, Odell, let's stop you right there. who's known for his outbursts on the sidelines. Tom Brady is not. That's why that got so much press, is Tom Brady is usually Mr. Ice Water in the veins.
Yeah, he's like Bill Belichick. Just bow his head, recalculate, come back, do a better job. That's who he is.
Tom Brady didn't get his ass kicked by a kicking net.
You know, I was going to say, the few times I've seen Brady like show a lot of emotion on the field, not celebrating, you know, whether it be a dropped pass or he overthrew a receiver or whatever, or they went a quick 3 and out when they couldn't afford to. It sticks out in my mind to see him, like, you know, take his helmet off and yell, fuck, or shit, or, you know, something like along those lines. Because you usually just don't see him do it. But, yeah, so he took to Twitter and got up on his Twitter horse, and he said, this is Beckham. Listen when I say this is the craziest thing someone has ever tweeted or posted to me, because I literally had this same conversation today about the exact thing you're talking about. It. There's rules, and then there's rules. Or immaturity, or needs to grow up, or selfish, or what else is exactly that they say? Or uncomposed. No, bro. I've watched that man do the exact same thing for years. Beat every time I cheered for in the Super Bowls. God. Not only is this article sounds like it was written by someone who's taken too many blows to the head. Odell, hooked on phonics. 1-800-ABC.
280 characters now.
Telling you, dude. Your shit reads like fucking a brain-damaged person was trying to write stereo instructions. So he goes on to say, I learned this from him, talking about Brady. This is the GOAT, so I'm following in his lead. I just may not know how to express it the same way, but don't get it confused. How number 12 feels about the game, I would have a hard time saying that's not exactly how I feel. Bro, you have no idea what you started. Now you got all these critics with no credibility mentioning me to try to gain some likes or an attention for what? LOL, to talk about what we already knew. Some things better left unsaid. I'm not phased. Working on the best me on this return. And then Yahoo Sports' Charles Robinson made a valid point on Twitter. I'm quoting the article now. In regards to how, even though it might not be right, the way people react to the actions of players is really determined on who the player is and what they've accomplished. His tweet says, if Cam Newton or insert name did that, he'd be crucified, crowd. Commenting for the if Cam Newton or insert name did that, he'd be crucified. To that crowd, commenting on Patriots Tom Brady yelling at Josh McDaniels, at least consider the context of Brady owning 5 Super Bowl rings and being in the conversation as the greatest NFL player ever. Greatness buys leeway.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
Well, I mean, I don't either, but at the same time, look at Des Bryant. Look at Terrell Owens. I mean, people that were Chad Ochocinco, for God's sake. People that were known for their outbursts.
I mean, I'll say this. I think Terrell Owens gets a bad rap, rightfully so, because he brought it on himself with his nonsense, his driveway workouts, his, you know, the stunts he pulled over the years, the bullshit. But when it come to that Super Bowl, that man was playing on, you know, a severely sprained ankle and went out there, had himself a hell of a game. It wasn't him who was trying to make that drive to come back that was in the huddle puking all over the place. Whether it be because of, you know, that was, first of all, that was McNabb. And whether it be because McNabb's nerves couldn't handle it or lack of conditioning, either way, that wasn't T.O.'s fault. And when T.O. got pissed about it, I'd be pissed too. I worked this hard. I came back from this injury. I'm out here playing on one fucking leg, throwing my body on, putting my body on the line. And you can't handle a no-huddle fucking 2-minute drill? You got to be over there fucking puking all over the place, trying to take timeouts? What, you think you're Willie Beeman?
Bitch, please.
I'd have been pissed. So I thought he had a legit point on that one. I mean, look at it this way. If for whatever reason, Iceman, your precious Lions were in the Super Bowl when they still had Megatron, and Megatron's out there playing on a severe high ankle sprain, basically one-legged, making all the fucking catches that's thrown his way, playing out of his mind, and Stafford's back there doubled over sucking wind, and they end up losing the game, and Megatron comes out and is like, yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with Stafford. How many fourth quarter comebacks have we had since he's been our quarterback? All of a sudden the Super Bowl and this happens to him? Could you really blame him for saying that? I mean, I've been to Philly. I know I have a friend who's from South Philly. And when I say South Philly, like you go to his neighborhood and you're like, oh, motherfucker, you're not from the suburbs. You lived in Philly. Okay, I got you. You lived right under the L in Philly, you know. I'm like, all right. I know exactly, you know, what you're talking about. And he's like, let me tell you something. That's what everyone in Philly would have said if it hadn't been Terrell Owens that said it first. But because it was Terrell Owens, it was easier to take their hatred out on him because, honestly, Terrell Owens is a less likable guy than Donovan McNabb is in the press. And, I mean, I don't know if Odell Beckham Jr. has a reputation of being not well liked by the press, but I know that Tom Brady, even when he's curt with the press, he's very professional about it. I mean,
Odell's starting to get a rep as a bitch. Quite honestly,
that's the other thing.
With his outbursts and shit like this, like, dude, at this point, his career is one catch. It's that one-handed catch he made 2 years ago.
Well, dude. Well, it's one of the reasons, supposedly, when Alan Trammell came to manage here and he brought Kirk Gibson, one of the reasons that it didn't work out, they said, is because Kirk Gibson, as a bench coach, didn't have the respect of the players because they said, who, Mr. Two-Hit Gibby? This motherfucker's going to tell me how to play baseball? Motherfucker only had 2 hits that mattered worth of shit in his entire career. That was in 84 in the World Series, and that was in 88 in Game 1 of the World Series. That's it. The rest of his career is bullshit. So, I mean, if believe me, if there's people on his team, believe me, if there's people on the Giants that feel that way about Odell Beckham, we're going to know about it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and he may want to get his P's and Q's all in a row because the Giants now have no GM and no coach.
Exactly, yeah. And what's funny is...
Steve Spagnuolo is their interim coach.
But what's funny in that whole situation is the... excuse me. The rumor mill is starting up that the whole reason McAdoo was let go, Wackadoo, whatever his name was, is because he benched Eli, and it didn't work out. And it's like...
No, it did not.
Okay, so, I mean, not only did they get rid of him, they got rid of the person who hired him. So that means that came down from up on high. That might as well be the word of God.
The reason he got fired is because he had just a horrendous season, the worst season in Giants history for so long. And McAdoo's thought process was, okay, well, we'll bitch the Super Bowl winning quarterback. That'll work.
Hey, we just beat the Chiefs. Let's bench Eli.
Yeah, and by the way, nice job putting Geno Smith in there. And what's one of the first things Geno Smith starts doing? Popping off about fucking how Rex Ryan fucked him over. I'm sorry, bro. Weren't you just fucking pulling splinters out your ass because you got called up from the bench? Why are you trying to settle years-old fucking beefs the first time someone sticks a camera in your face and asks your opinion about anything?
Neither of you are on that team anymore.
Yeah,
move on, Gino.
What the fuck, dude? It's not like you had a professional football game to play. I mean, that just shows you how fucking far off their mindset is from where it needs to be in that locker room right now.
Hey, at least it was still in New York, right?
Yeah, he didn't have to move. The same stadium. It's just different shirts.
Right.
I guess.
His mind's still in New York, you know. Not on the right team, but it's in New York.
Well, dude, there's so much shit that, and because of where I'm located, I hear the sports, the local sports talk. There's so much shit being talked about how, a good coach will get a team to emulate his attitude. But if he's a good coach as far as getting the team to emulate his attitude, but his attitude's too laid back or his attitude is, too short triggered, that it's not a good thing. And they were comparing Schwartz and Caldwell. They said you could see it in the defense when Schwartz was coaching, that they really picked up his attitude. And they were like, and Caldwell's he's gotten a little short and a little heated with the press, but I guarantee you the press would not be asking questions of Jim Schwartz that they're asking to Jim Caldwell without Schwartz going off on him. And Caldwell keeps his composure, and they're like, so the team's too laid back. And it's like, really? So if that's the case, then what's that tell you about what was going on in New York? That coach must have been up there like he didn't give a fuck.
Some margaritas, everyday Hawaiian shirt day. He's wearing sandals to the game meetings.
They pipe in Oh shit! Who's
Jimmy Buffett.
Margaritaville? Yeah, Jimmy Buffett during practices and shit. But no, I mean seriously, dude. You are a fucking professional football player, a quarterback in New York. You're getting your chance to start, and you start bringing up old shit. Someone should have got him a Midol and a fucking Tampax and said, if you're going to act like a fucking bitch, we're going to treat you like one.
Well, he's
that's
probably too.
That's something that women do in relationships.
Well, the game plan was, until McAdoo got blown out, from what I heard, was he was the bridge between Manning and what's that guy's name? Davis Webb. Is ultimately they wanted to get that rookie. They got some starts. And Geno Smith was going to be the bridge between him and Manning. Now, who the fuck knows? I'm sure Spagnuolo's going, he was high. Eli, you're back under center. We'll see.
He was smoking the cheap shit.
So maybe Geno was pissed. So he took an opportunity when he had a mic shoved in his face.
Well, if that's the case, one, you don't have the right mindset to be on a fucking professional football team. It's a small fucking NFL. If you have beef with Rex Ryan to where it's still fucking stuck in your craw years later, I'm pretty sure you can get that message to Rex Ryan without having to go to the media.
I don't think
Bristol.
so. Rex
You know
Ryan's
where he works?
retired from football and broadcast. Somebody had to wake Rex Ryan up to say, hey, Geno mentioned you. He's still upset. To which Rex Ryan was like, and rolled back over and went to sleep.
No, go to Bristol, man. That's where he works. You know where he's at? Go up to Connecticut. You know where to find him.
Well, I mean, I think it's safe to say dumpster fire in full effect with the Giants. That's just all there is to it. Okay, yeah, McAdoo's gone. You know, they might start Eli. But the one thing that maybe he was hanging on to as a source of pride through a season like this was his starting streak. I mean, on top of that, it's not just that his streak got broken. It's that's the first time since week 17 of the 1997 season that a Manning didn't start a game. I mean,
damn, wow, 20 years.
There was no reason whatsoever to set him like they did. I mean, like I said, I was shocked that they didn't have it. Like, look, oh fuck, it's a dumpster fire. We're going to Eli. Go, look, Eli, here's the deal. We don't believe in you, and you're a little too old for us to rebuild the team around you. One more run at a Super Bowl. So where would you like to go? Who would you like to play for? Or else we're going to bench you. Give him before the trade deadline. Give him the opportunity to do that. To basically control his destiny. Give him the respect of a quarterback who's brought you 2 Super Bowl rings over a team both times. No one picked them to beat. Nobody. I mean, it might as well have been like, the greatest game of the century, 1 and 2. So I don't know. It's not a good time to be a Giants fan. That's what I do know. Makes me feel good about, my Bucks and shit. They just keep losing like they lose.
Yeah.
But it ain't a dumpster fire. That's for fuck sure.
Hey, Rich, but that being said, if they do put him in next week, then what you said about getting asked to be traded, I mean, in a heartbeat. You just cost me my consecutive start streak because you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I'm going to Jacksonville.
Well, Archie come out and said that Eli might not even play next season. Then I saw a conflicting report late last night where Eli said he does plan on playing next season. So sounds to me like maybe Daddy Manning's like, you know what? Fuck the Giants. Fuck the NFL. His family's given enough to this fucking franchise, to this organization. Maybe his advice is to his son, why don't you retire while you can still, count to 20 without having to take your shoes and socks off?
Dude, no. He's got to make one more run so he can make Christmas awkward forever.
I know, because they're about even right now.
Yes, they each got 2. He gets one more. The holidays are ruined forever. Oh,
hey. There's the poor
hey, what's up, Sheriff?
There's the poor Manning brother who had the fucking spinal condition that cost him his football career going.
Cooper?
Yeah, Cooper must be like, yeah, must be nice, you two, to win the genetic lottery, unlike me, you know. Same exact parents and everything. Must be nice.
Yeah. Menendez, the fucking Manning father. You dropped me on my head, bitch. Come here.
Oh.
No, he's got, it's a real fucked up, his spine, I think it's a degenerative disease. It as he gets older, it narrows to the point where if he'd have taken a hit and they'd have hit him the right way, he'd have been paralyzed for the rest of his life. So I mean, you know, I understandably, yeah, let's hang it up and call it a career. Both my brothers are in the NFL. I'm pretty sure if I find some insurance to sell and I fall on hard times, they're going to be there to help me fucking out. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's a broadcaster, isn't he?
I have no idea. I have none whatsoever. Wouldn't shock me if he was slinging insurance somewhere.
Well, hey, it seems we're already in the hot NFL talk. Should we just keep it going?
Oh, yeah, real quick, though. You are right. He's the host for The Manning Hour for Fox Sports.
There you go. There's that last name opening some doors for you. Oh, hey, my dad's Archie Manning. You might know my brothers Peyton and Eli.
Don't know if you've heard of us or our father. We're kind of a big deal.
So football. So let's start with let's just get out of the way. Let's start with the home team for us.
Well, you're gonna talk about Gronk, or you're gonna talk about it when we get there?
Let's talk about it when we get there.
What part of let's start with the home team in English didn't you understand? Jesus.
No. I heard it. Shut up. I heard it. I just didn't want to start with the home team.
Like, dude, I'm making a serious effort to not bust your balls, but then you do dumb shit like that. Seriously. Come on, man. Pay attention.
I am paying attention. I didn't want to start with the home team. That's all.
You ain't in high school no more. Take the fucking Letterman jacket off and move to the front row and start paying attention. It's okay.
Shut up. It's cold in here. Keeping it on.
All right. So, yeah.
Damn it.
I believe Zach Brannigan in an episode of Futurama once said, how expected. I mean, this is ugly, right? Stafford might be hurt. Well, he is hurt. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about all year about how unimpressive Baltimore's offense is, and we sure made him look good.
Yeah, how unimpressive they looking last week.
I mean, we made Cleveland and Chicago look competitive against us. Ravens rolled over us like it's 1999.
All right, look. Like every week it's just churning the same old fucking ground up and just digging for something new. It's all we really need to say. All right, what is it? 5-49. That's Stafford's record against teams who's better than 500. And when's the last time the Lions had a 100-yard rusher in a game?
2013. Reggie Bush making a second appearance on the podcast.
All right, so that's enough said. At least on my
Iceman.
Don't wait for me, dude. Don't wait for me. Not on this team. I'm done. You guys continue to think it's a bit. It's not a bit. They're done, dude. They are who you thought they were. They proved me wrong. Good fucking job.
All right.
To me, the only drama left with this team for this season is does Caldwell get the fucking shown the door, or not regardless, but in spite of the extension he signed, and there's precedent. It's happened. Looking at you, Jeff Fisher. I mean. It's the NFL, not for long. That's the name of the league if you don't produce. And to me, if he's not showing the door at the end of this season, that just proves that, oh, shit. Who's Golden Boy from, it's our GM or their GM from that they picked up from Patriots?
Quinn.
Yeah. If Caldwell isn't gone, that shows me that Quinn doesn't have actual control of that team. That's coming from up above him. That means that's coming from Martha Stewart. Or not Martha Stewart, Martha Ford.
That'd be crazy if it wasn't Martha Stewart.
Shit, at this point, give her a shot. Why not?
Hey, at least we'll have insider trading.
I was going to say, her and Snoop seem to be tight. He knows football pretty well.
She did time. She knows what's up.
Martha Stewart, gangster as a motherfucker, man. But no, seriously, like, fuck, get her out there.
Design better fucking jerseys, I can tell you that.
Well, if anybody's going to go and start redesigning jerseys for any team, someone needs to go down there and explain to my Buccaneers that they look like a fucking off-brand fucking college football team.
Oh, but they do.
A real off-brand. Go back to the pewter and red and just stick with it, all right? And just stop with this fucking... anyways. Yeah, no, that's the only drama left on this season. And will they win it all on the way out? Because rumor is Green Bay is going to have back fucking Rodgers for the game against the Lions. And if that's the case...
Why'd you got to mention that? Why you got to say that?
What? Bring up facts?
Yeah. Pesky little facts, damn it.
I mean, they got the Buccaneers. It's a very winnable game, but it is on the road. It is outside. The only thing not in favor of the Buccaneers is they don't have a winning record.
Lions should beat them.
Not this year, they shouldn't.
Don't have a winning record. This should be a W, but that's where I'm at. I stopped tuning in, I think, before Thanksgiving. Like, if I see the Lions now, it's because they're on Red Zone. You broke my heart in the Atlanta game, and you've been continuing to live up to my expectation of you, which isn't much. So let's move on to the other teams. Real football.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Iceman, you talked about him, man. I mean, Gronk, what's going on, buddy? What's that all about, meathead? He got himself a game suspension.
I saw the hit. I don't agree. I mean, the only reason I have to agree with the suspension is because it's the rule.
Play was
that big of a deal.
But the play was stopped. I think that's the big deal.
No, I'm saying it was worth a penalty. There's a penalty to be had there for an unsportsmanlike conduct. But it wasn't like he tried to rip his head off, or like the game I watched tonight with fucking Pittsburgh. Those hits, holy shit. But, I mean, little curricular activity after the whistle. Give him a penalty. A suspension? Nah. Not for that type of hit.
I think it's because he ran up to him, he stopped, and then he pretty much half-assed dove into him.
He gave him the people's elbow. I mean, that's what happened.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He looked like he was, dude, you're not in the WWE. You're in the NFL. And that's what it looked like. I seriously... Every replay I saw, I was like, what is he, auditioning for the fucking WWE?
He just got his nights confused, that's all.
I mean, I guess the one thing you can say is he did the Patriot thing to do. He come right out and said, I definitely want to apologize, and seems to have made no excuses for his own behavior, So, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure someone's out there screaming they want a pint of blood from him, and they've turned it into damn near a race war. Oh, if this was a black tight end, no. This was Jeremy Stevens back in the day. Oh, boy, but...
Well, if they want to make it a race war, it was white-on-white crime.
You don't even have to have anybody... It could have... Dude, seriously, that could have been two football teams from Alaska playing each other. No black people whatsoever around, and someone would turn it into a race thing because if they wanted to.
Well, I'm just saying
that as well as I do.
Has anyone brought up Patriot privilege?
There you go. It was a black corner, but his last name was white. That's why I said white on white crime.
Well, I'm just saying, at this point in society, if someone wants to make it about race, they just do. And they go, what are you going to do? You're like, wait a minute. This was literally, you can have one white guy fighting another white guy, two pale Irishmen fighting each other, butt booty naked, on an iceberg in the North Pole. It can't get much whiter than that, and somehow it's racist. So, I haven't heard it yet, so we'll see. But I'm sure it's coming. Somebody's going to say something.
Well, he is appealing the suspension, and if it gets overturned, Patriot privilege is going to be thrown all over it. But at the same time, I don't think it's due at that point. it wasn't that bad. I mean, compared to, like I said, some of the other hits I've seen, especially this week, nah.
They're rolling anyway.
No, I mean, dude, it's are they? I mean, they're right where we expect them to be. That's the pitch of it. This is what we've come to expect since 2001 with the Patriots?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
10-2.
Mm-hmm. The AFC is going right now through Boston and Pittsburgh.
You know, I mean, it's pretty much it's. Here we were at the beginning of the season. You know, oh shit, how bad the Steelers going to be? 10-2. There you go. That's how bad they are. Same record as the Patriots. I mean, I think the biggest surprise at 10-2 is the Vikings.
Yeah. If I'm Case Keenum, I'm loving this season. I mean, you got to keep the train rolling, because if Sam Bradford comes back, do you start him?
I know
Teddy
that,
Bridgewater is back. They didn't start him.
I know
why. It's not broke. Don't fix it.
Well, I
That's
know that they
a
say
Bledsoe moment, I think, right there.
that's what I was going to say. I know they say you're not supposed to lose your spot to injury, but you got to dance with who brought you, man. And I mean, 10-2 at this point in the season. Who the fuck, except for Minnesota's version of Iceman, was calling that for the Vikings? Nobody in their right mind was saying they're going to be 10-2 at this point in the season. Nobody.
Absolutely correct. That is a true statement. With their backup quarterback and their backup running back.
The backup to a backup quarterback.
I mean, guys,
That's true.
this
Case Keenum is technically the third in line.
This is the first place teams in the NFC right now. Eagles at 10-2, Rams at 9-3, Vikes, like we said, 10-2, Saints at 9-3. Who the fuck expected any four of these teams to have these records, let alone be in first place? All four of them at this point in the season.
Oh, I would. Oh, yeah. No, not even close.
I mean, look, I said don't sleep on the Rams' defense. I still think they got a fucking pretty goddamn stout defense. All right, but I said I think the Eagles are better than people are giving them credit for. Even I'm gonna fucking admit I wasn't calling this though. I wish I could take credit for that shit.
I said Drew Brees got a little bit left in the tank, but I didn't think, and after the first two games of the season, too, the Saints' defense looked awful, and now they're one of the top 10 defense in the league. I didn't see that shit coming.
So yeah, I mean it's NFC is going to be interesting. That's for damn sure. I mean, because you pretty much, Cowboys mathematically still in it. Seahawks, I mean, obviously 8-4, they're still in it. Lions mathematically still in it. Packers mathematically still in it. Panthers and Falcons, they're still in it. I mean, it's going to be very interesting. And if I'm the Eagles or if I'm the Rams, I'm praying there's not a fucking week 15, 16, 17 injury like what happened with Carr in Oakland last season.
Yeah, that's a big bummer for Oakland.
Because, I mean, if that happens this late in the year, you just went from maybe winning, a playoff game, making a deep run, to your first-round fodder, unless you got another miracle somewhere back there. No, I mean, yeah, getting back to the games, I mean, we got Detroit out of the way.
Seattle beating the Eagles. Who saw that coming? Not us. We all picked Philly.
It happens.
I mean, is this a case of we all underestimated the 12th man advantage?
No, this is Seattle is a second half team. With Russell Wilson, they're a second half team. They've never come out to like a fucking, 10-0 start. They're always scratching and clawing, and they'll end up in the playoffs. It's just how they roll. Last year they were all beat up. They made it to the they weren't beat up enough to lose to the Lions, but they went out in the second round. I think that they're probably heading for the same thing this year. But, I mean, Seattle's doing what they do.
I think this game was a case of just, Wentz having a bad day. The Eagles scored over 20 points every game this season, and then this game they scored 10. I mean, you could give it to the the Seahawks if you want. But they were playing without the Legion of Boom. I just think, Wentz had an off game. It happens.
They'll meet again in the playoffs. Doesn't matter.
The Eagles losing to the Seahawks isn't the most shocking loss this week. I could tell you that right now.
What would you say is the most shocking loss this week there, Iceman?
Jets, Jets.
Dude, yeah, the AFC West. All of a sudden, if you are a Chargers or a Raiders fan, you got some motherfucking hope. AFC West, 3 teams at 6-6. The Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders. If you're in Kansas City, Iceman, I think you're in the opinion you're hitting the panic button. I could agree you've lost 4 in a row, but I also say you're still in first.
You lost 5 of the last 6.
You're still in first. You could still win your division. I think where you and I yesterday in our little group chat, where the disconnect was, is you were just kind of like, oh, well, you're done. See you next season. I'm like, what do you mean see you next season? You could still win the division. They just got to get their shit together.
The way they fired out, they were supposed to be like this badass dominant. They were supposed to be the Eagles.
They were now for a second.
Okay, and now they're the fucking Detroit Lions, dude. Come on now.
No. The difference between them and the Lions is they can still win their division.
Okay, so they can win the division, but in their slide of losing streak, they've lost to the Bills, the Jets, and the fucking Giants, dude. Stop it.
Yeah, that one smarts. That one doesn't make you look good.
Even the Lions beat the Giants. Come on, man. Nasty.
We need that sound effect. Wow.
Yeah.
It's not so much a panic button as it is what the fucking's button. That is all about what the fuck is going on there.
Dude, they got to get their shit figured out, man.
Well, and the irony of the thing is I said, Andy Reid's going to figure something out. I don't know what it is, but he's going to figure it out. No, he didn't. No, the fuck he didn't. You got Peters throwing the flag into the fucking stands, getting pissed at all
without his socks.
Right, signing Darrelle Revis. What are you doing?
That Eric Berry injury is starting to come back to haunt him.
Well, the question is it time? Is it Patrick Mahomes' time? Is it Alex Smith's fault?
No, fuck no. Alex Smith threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Get the fuck out of here. Really?
Okay.
You think the problem is Alex Smith?
I don't know what the problem is, bro.
The defense let 38 points by. That's the problem.
Against the Jets. Oh, it's a huge problem.
But, yeah. So, what other games of interest are worth talking about this past week?
Garoppolo won his opening debut.
There you go.
Sorry about your luck, toilet bowl.
Yeah, the dumpsters continues. The dumpster's still on fire in Chicago. Yeah. I mean, that's really... There's a lot of separation here 13 weeks in as far as, I mean, the division leaders are pretty clear except for the one division. I mean, the AFC South, you get the Titans and the Jags tied for first.
Yeah, but
you
the
guys
Jags
believe
have
in the
that
Titans?
one, I think. No, I think Jags have that.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I'm not believing in the Titans, but they keep winning games, so what the fuck do I know?
Well, I mean, there is one thing that we need to start talking about, the possibility of it happening, no matter how much it bothers Iceman. And there's a very strong possibility Cleveland could go winless.
Ooh.
Damn it.
and Iceman, in his best Tom Mazawey impersonation, is going to be upset that the Lions lose the record for the most horrible team ever in the history of the NFL.
I'm going to be more upset that we have to share it with fucking Cleveland. Well, I don't know that it wouldn't be as bad, but maybe it wouldn't be if it was like San Francisco, but it's fucking Cleveland.
I mean, let's look at the Browns' schedule. Do they have any potential wins? Who do they have left to play? The Packers? No. The Ravens? No. The Bears? Maybe.
Maybe.
The Steelers? No. So their best shot is going into Soldier Field and winning one against the Bears.
It could happen. They got Josh Gordon.
And ladies and gentlemen, There you go. There's the one time Iceman will root for the toilet bowl.
He's got a point there, Iceman.
I am not going to root for... Why am I going to root for the toilet bowl? If the toilet bowl loses, Cleveland gets their win.
Yeah, you'll root for them to lose. You'll actually have... You just are like any team but them. That's just your attitude about them. But now it's like, no, I actually want them to do something. I want them to lose. And, like, it matters to you. Not just because you just, well, fuck it, they should lose because they're Chicago. It's kind of like when, how do I explain it? It's kind of like, as a Michigan fan, I always want Ohio State to lose. But if Ohio State losing meant Michigan leapfrogged Ohio State in the standings into a playoff spot, I really want Ohio. I'm rooting for Ohio State to lose. Not just going, I hope they lose. Like I always do. Fuck them. Of course, yeah. No. I mean...
Yeah, I'm going to tune in and watch the game. Yes, I am.
I just think it's funny. Why are you so dead set on holding on to such a shitty record?
It's the only record I got, man. It's all I got, man. It's all I got.
It's all I got, man.
Oh, that quote carries more weight for Iceman and I than Chris. But yeah, and you sound just about as pathetic as the person who said, "Man, that's all I got," when he fucking said it. So there's podcasting for 3, and the third one will never listen. But anyways,
all right.
So I mean, we pretty much all at this point looking at it going, yeah, it's a very, 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 very likely possibility the Browns go winless.
If anything, I can count on the Bears.
You said their name. It's a big step for you. All right, so do we want to go ahead and just get into the picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because everything else really was this week.
Oh, well, the one thing that at least I hoped for last week came true. Herm Edwards, new head coach of the Sun Devils.
How you doing in Arizona, Coach?
He's getting out of broadcasting, back onto the field.
And the Hermisms are already starting. Apparently there's a fan website for the Sun Devils called the Daily Devil or something like that. And during his press conference to announce he had been hired, the guy stands up and says that, and he's like, "Daily Devils? I don't want no devils around me. I'm a Christian." And I'm just like, oh shit, here we go. Herm Edwards already starting with the bullshit. Like, cause I know the man ain't dumb enough to know, but still, it's just fun. I'm like, yep, it's gonna be interesting. I'll actually give a fuck about that team in the at least in the press conferences for a change. So yeah, I just want to say I'm happy. Christmas came early for me. Herm Edwards coaching a football team again. Get your popcorn ready.
Man, did he not like broadcasting?
Dude, I think he liked it, but it's Herm Edwards. Did you ever see the Hard Knocks when he was with Kansas City? And he talked more shit as a head coach on the field than any player that he was fucking coaching. Like one of the rookies came up to him and he's like, "What you doing over here, Rook? No, Rook, no, it ain't time for you to take your reps. You know what time it is? Time for you to go to Krispy Kreme and get me a dozen donuts. And it's got to say hot when you buy them. Don't bring me back no cold donuts." I mean, just talking shit. I mean, just like, that's all. Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about running routes. You ain't going to be here long enough to run routes. Go get me some Krispy Kreme. And I'm just like, damn.
Points for honesty, Herm. All right.
Well, we did kind of skip over the NBA a little bit. The only things worth mentioning there is, well, Cleveland's winning 12 straight.
No fucks were given. I thought they were done. I thought they were done.
No fucks were given.
Thought they were done.
Now, the Warriors are leading the league in ejections and technical fouls.
And Steph is hurt.
Yeah, he rolled his ankle real bad. If anybody wants to watch a video and go, ooh, watch how Steph Curry rolls his ankle. Because, ow. Very, very ow.
All right, get your tinfoil hats out. Just saying, if they're calling that many technicals on them, get your tinfoil hats out. Sooner or later, someone's going to put forward the conspiracy theory that the NBA is doing this because they want more parity in the league. Yeah,
there it is.
It's coming. You know it's coming.
I don't think the leagues do. I think the teams in the league are going, well, we got to do something. Let's get under their skin.
This is the one league that did have an official come out as corrupt. We always just gloss over that. But anyway, should we get into the picks?
Yeah.
There's been movement. I have fallen into last place.
Whoops.
Yeah. However, my winning percentage is still .599. Rich moves into second at 604. Iceman holding strong in first at 636. Telling
That's what
you,
I do.
we would kill in Vegas.
I'm telling you, somebody is listening to this podcast and betting on my picks. I'm telling you, they are. I want commission.
Collectively. You want some juice?
I do.
What's you bet on your own picks?
I told you, give me some of that money you earned, and I will.
Hey, hit the donate button. All right. So Iceman, go bet on his picks.
That's what I'm saying. I want some points. I'm gonna charge points on that shit.
So yeah, let's start with Thursday night.
Oh, why do we always have to have a Thursday night game? Damn it! I suck on
What
Thursdays.
is wrong with extra football?
I suck
It's
on
shitty
Thursday night.
matchups. I get it, but that's my beef. Is you need to have some better matchups if you're going to give me extra football.
Whoa. We did forget that the Dallas Cowboys rolled the Redskins without Zeke.
But the Redskins are a 40-degree day this year. Is that really an accomplishment?
Without Zeke? Yeah.
But Thursday night, we got a divisional battle.
I was gonna say this one's not that bad of a matchup.
Yeah, you got this. You got the Saints at the Falcons. This would be a pretty good game. The Falcons are at home. The new home Mercedes-Benz. I said, didn't this used to be the Georgia Dome? No, the Georgia Dome was exploded a couple weeks ago. Imploded, whatever. Leveled.
Ironically, by the same people who tried to knock down the Silver Dome.
It took them 2 tries to knock down the Silver Dome.
Can't take down our house. Under Armour. Oh, we must protect this house.
I'm saying that's Earl is ever the optimist. That's how you look at it, and I look at it as yet another. You know, why would anyone ever leave the Silver Dome satisfied, happy? I believe another podcast had a tweet go. So what was it? Said more disappointed fans leave the Silver Dome yet again.
Well, what is kind of amusing is they built that fucking thing, 47 years ago, whatever it's been. And that motherfucker, they're like, oh, it was built a lot better than we thought. Like, oh yeah, we used to build shit back then in America to last.
We knew how to build it.
Now it's like, no, I'm waiting for them to tear down Comerica Park because it's getting close to 20 years old.
I know, right? Did you guys see that video on the interwebs of the Georgia Dome explosion where the bus pulled in front of it? The guy was trying to film it, and the bus pulled right in front of it.
I missed that.
Yeah, it couldn't have even been. It couldn't have been scripted better. Like a bus pulls in front of it, blocks his entire view of the Georgia Dome, picks up people, drops them off, and as soon as it pulls away, it was over. Like it was. It couldn't have been scripted better. You hear the guy like cussing at him, like, "Get the fuck out of the way, bus!" But anyway, New Orleans at Atlanta. Quite honestly, I like New Orleans' offense a lot better than I like Atlanta's offense. Give me the Saints.
Yep, give me the Saints.
Saints.
Eats at you to pick the Saints, doesn't it, Iceman?
Well, I mean,
they're done, don't you?
he is done. But he isn't.
Yeah.
He should be.
He's
There,
done in
how's
first
that?
place.
He should be done. He's supposed to be. Supposed to be done.
Hey, we're almost getting to that magical time of year where you get a Saturday game. But still with Sunday games. So the 1 o'clock games, starting with the Indianapolis at Buffalo. What the fuck's going on in Buffalo? Like they're pulling
same thing that's
Tyrod
going on.
Taylor. They're sitting, they're starting, like they're
Same.
beating teams they're not supposed to. They're losing to teams they're not supposed to.
Same thing in Giants country.
Yeah, but Buffalo's got a way better record, and I'd like them better than the Colts. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, definitely. Give me the Bills. I've lost all faith in the Colts this season.
This is a whole lot of shit show right here. You got to pick the Bills, but man, it's not even worth a watch.
Next up, the Toilet Bowl heading to Cincinnati, taking on the Bengals. Give me the Bengals. I think this could get ugly.
Yeah, give me the Bengals. Just simply based on comparing the offenses, that fucking Bears offense is just bad. I mean, they haven't even cracked 200 points on the season so far.
I'm gonna tentatively go with the Bengals. If you guys didn't watch that game tonight, you won't understand that. But Vontaze Burfict got carted off the field. There were so many power hits in that game. I don't even know who's healthy coming out of it, but I have to tentatively pick the Bengals.
Next up, Green Bay heading into Cleveland. The Browns at home. Doesn't fucking matter. Give me the Pack.
Yeah, give me the Packers.
The toilet bowl with a handle. Pack. Give me the Pack.
All right. Oakland at Kansas City. Ooh, there you go.
Ooh.
Shit's getting interesting right away in the AFC West. Oh, man. I mean, beast mode all of a sudden showing up. God damn it. But Kansas City's at home. I think behind the 12th man, I think Arrowhead's probably the second toughest. I don't know. What is it? It's probably what? The 12th man, Lambeau, and Arrowhead are probably the three toughest places to play if you're not from there, right?
With Arrowhead, I think at one point being declared the loudest. I don't know if that still stands.
Man, just give me the Chiefs. Oakland hasn't really. I mean, I know they've pulled the 500. They've kind of righted the ship, but they really haven't. I mean, the good old eyeball test. They really haven't been, I think, what they supposed to have been. You know, I viewed them as dominating this division this year, and they've just kind of been, So give me the Chiefs.
I mean, I'm going with the Chiefs. And I'm just crunching the numbers. Defense is pretty evenly matched as far as points given up. But, I mean, the Chiefs they put up way more points. They have a better record at home than the Raiders do away. It's a divisional game. Chiefs know their season's slipping away if they lose this game. So they I don't know. How do you put this? I think the Chiefs are more desperate 6-6 than the Raiders are at 6-6. So give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, everything Rich just said. I picked the Chiefs with the caveat that if they lose this game, Chris, I don't give a fuck if they can still win their division. They're fucking in trouble. I mean, and they're already in trouble. They're in a nosedive right now, and they need to be able to pull out. I don't know what Andy Reid needs to figure out, but he needs a win in a bad way. It has to be this week.
I think Oakland's like, oh shit, we're 6-6, and Kansas City's like, oh shit, we're 6-6. Yeah. So next up, Dallas at the Giants. Again, doesn't fucking matter. Give me the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah, they're floundering without Zeke, but the Giants don't have nobody. They ain't got the coach, their GM, their starting quarterbacks in question. Dallas.
Oh, just one thing I want to point out, I just think is interesting. 12 games into their season, Dallas continues to be painfully average. They're 500. They have almost the exact same points they've put up versus points allowed. I mean, hasn't this been the story of Dallas since their last Super Bowl win? And I mean, how much of that shit got heaped at the feet of Tony Romo? It's like, nah, you guys maybe don't have quite the culture y'all had in the 70s and 90s down there in Dallas anymore.
This is true. To me, Jason Garrett has always struck me as like Jerry Jones fucking lapdog yes man than a coach. It's not so much like, hey, we're gonna put this guy in there and he's gonna, do his thing. It seems he is a puppet. They put somebody malleable in there who will be Uncle Jerry's mouthpiece.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Dude, Jerry Jones, he's pulling the strings. I think it's safe to say he doesn't even bother to try to hide that fact.
Laid at the feet of Tony Romo, his legs, his back, his neck.
Like, I think the last coach that would tell Jerry Jones to fuck off was Jimmy Johnson. It seems after Barry, maybe Barry Switzer, but it seems you've just had you've had a trail of yes men from the late 90s to now coaching the Cowboys. So, let's move on. Ooh, here we go. Ooh, the Lions heading down. It's Tampa Bay taking on the Buccaneers. Do we know if Stafford is going to be sitting out Sunday yet?
He's playing.
He's playing. He's going to be hurt. Tampa Bay's at home. Tampa Bay is an under 500 team. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I can't even come up with an excuse to try to, besides just being a homer, to try to pick the fucking Bucs. I don't see it. Having said that, watch Winston come out and have a career day. But anyways, yeah, give me the Lions.
Give me the Lions.
You sound so defeated. Someone just kicked your puppy.
I am defeated. I told you all that.
Kicked your wiener dog.
Give it up. I'm going to pick him because that's my team. I'm never going to pick against him ever for any reason. However, fuck him.
Next up, the Vikings at the Panthers. Man, for some reason, my gut's just saying, give me the Panthers.
See, I think the Vikings have proven themselves for real. That defense is no joke. And, I mean, I'm not ready to call them, Purple Rain. But, dude, they definitely have shown me something in the last few weeks. So, give me the Vikes.
Yeah, Case Keenum's found his favorite receiver. Xavier Rhodes got secondary on lockdown. Yeah, give me the Vikes.
All right, next up, fresh off their win in Chicago, Jimmy G 1-0 as the starter for the 49ers, heading to Houston, taking on the Texans. Yuck. I mean, Houston is wildly underachieving with Deshaun Watson out. You know what? Give me the Niners in this one. I see Jimmy G being better than Tom Savage. I don't care if Houston's at home.
And I got to go with you, man. I mean, Texans this is not their year. The injury bug has been them way hard. New quarterback. Seems like they got who they wanted. He went out there. He did what he was supposed to. Might have given that team a little bit of hope, a little bit of something to play for. So, give me the Niners.
Oh, hell yeah, the Niners. Everybody is hurt except for Hopkins on the Texans. Quarterback's hurt, the running back's hurt, defensive end's hurt, linebackers hurt.
Yeah, but the problem is the Hopkins that's not hurt is Bernard Hopkins. He ain't going to help him win a football game.
All right. The surprisingly 5-7 New York Jets heading to Denver, taking on the surprisingly awful. What are they? 3-9.
I thought it was 2-10.
It's 3-9.
Yeah. Denver Broncos,
who've dropped 8 in a row. It's got to be killing that defensive fucking. The defensive half of the room has to be pissed right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no moratorium this year. Give me the Jets. Their offense looks way better than Denver's.
God, I did not think I'd be picking the Jets over Denver. at the beginning of the season, at this point in the season, but I'm doing it. Give me the Jets.
I'm right there with you, Rich. I can't believe it either. I got to pick the Jets. They beat Kansas City, for Christ's sake, who is way better than the Broncos this season.
Yeah, and credit where credit is due.
Yeah, gotta give them their due.
Give them his due.
His due.
Next up, Tennessee heading to Arizona. None of us are buying this Tennessee team this year. But I'll buy him this week. Fucking Blaine Gabbert. It's the goddamn quarterback in Arizona. Give me the Titans.
Yeah. I got a feeling Mariota's going to be bumping by the time I get to Arizona on his way out there. Maybe it is time to start buying this Titans team, dude. Every week we're like, ain't buying it. Then we pick them and they win. What the fuck, bro? The Titans.
Yeah, but they ain't beat nobody yet. I mean, I'm going to pick them still, but they still ain't beat nobody.
This ain't college football, so they can't be ranked number 1 and not beat nobody.
Just saying, bro. They haven't beat nobody yet. Look, they're going to go beat Cocaine Blaine Gabbert. That's what he was called when he was in Missouri in high school. Guy did lines. How he's still playing NFL, it's anybody's guess. The pictures haven't surfaced yet. That's all I can tell you.
Bob Probert, that's all I'm going to say.
Right?
Line coach?
So, yeah.
Put me on the line, yeah.
I'm on the line. I got a line. Who needs a line? Where's the line?
Hey, Joey, get over here. Coach said we can so we can do the same line.
All right. The Redskins heading to Los Angeles to take on the surging Chargers. See what I did there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
very
this team
clever.
went from being... Yeah. I mean, again, another team you got to give them his due. I mean, the Chargers, we were calling them a shit show a few weeks ago. Now they're contenders for their division. Washington, this year, there seems to be something missing, right? They just don't seem to have that spark they had like they did last year. So I'm picking the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going to take Chargers too.
Well, I'm going by myself. Redskins. I understand that they have something missing, but I mean, both of these teams are 40-degree days. Ain't neither one of them going to see anything big happen at the end of the season. But the Redskins are a little bit better than the Chargers, if not just younger.
You know, one of these days, our production guy will get around to getting that 40-degree drop so it makes sense to the people in the audience. Just saying. Because I said it at work, and I say it so much that they understand it and they've never seen an episode of The Wire. So I'm just thinking that, like, maybe hopefully there's a few like Wire fans listening going, oh, I get it, 40-degree day. Yeah.
I'll be, in a week or so here, I'll be off of work for a couple of weeks.
Whoa!
I'll get the production, you know.
I gotta blow out my knee. I gotta blow out my knee like fucking. I can't even remember someone who blew out their knee. But who was running back for Miami? Blew out his knee real bad. 2003 national championship game. God damn it! No, you're playing Miami. No, yeah, he played for Miami. Whatever. Long story short, I can't remember his fucking name. I gotta blow out my knee to get a week off from work, motherfucker. You get paid to get time off from work.
Yeah, been there for 13 years. I should.
That's like a prison sentence. That's not a job. How long you been here? 13 years. Damn, bro, they kept you down 13? Shit.
Yeah.
Chris, catch my case.
The Eagles at the Rams. This is going to be a good game. This is a game. I don't know. This may not be. The next three matchups are going to be pretty fucking good. The Eagles at the Rams. I think the Eagles are coming off a bad beat. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah, this is. Whew, I don't know how to pick this one. Yeah, fuck it. Give me the Eagles. I mean, that defense and their offense, statistically, they match up really well. I don't know how much of a fucking advantage being home for the Rams is at this point. The only advantage I think they have by being home is that the Eagles are going to LA, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only advantage that the Rams can enjoy from that is you have a East Coast team going to the West Coast. Maybe that might throw them off their game, but I don't know. Yeah.
But are the Rams ever at home?
That's what I'm
Think
saying.
about it. They probably. a gentleman on other podcasts likes to put it, they play 16 road games a year because they're an LA team. The Chargers, they're going to have their fan base from San Diego, drive up north to still come see them when they play. But the Rams, I mean, they were from what? They're from St. Louis. They're essentially playing 16 road games.
Yeah, don't you got to go back to like the Ernest Dickerson days for the LA Rams?
Yeah.
And I mean, before that, they were the weren't the Rams? No, the Cardinals were in St. Louis before they went to Arizona. Then they were Phoenix, then Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. All right, never mind. My bad.
Yeah.
Got my shitty NFC West teams mixed up.
I'm labeling this game as a must-watch. You don't want to miss this game. It's going to go back and forth.
Well, you know what, homeboy? I'm going to need to pass.
Right. I think Eagles and Carson Wentz had just an off day. It happens. But he's going to get righted and come make a statement on the Rams, unfortunately, for Rams.
Well, if it's a must-watch game and they don't carry it out here, why don't you go ahead and fire me the login and password for your fucking NFL whatever Sunday ticket so I can watch the damn game. I like to watch football too.
I like football.
I wish I could. I got a satellite. What do you want from me?
Excuses. All right. Next matchup. Again, this is going to be a good one. Seattle at Jacksonville. Man. You'd have told me last year that I'd be sitting here thinking about a game including Jacksonville. I would have called you a fucking liar.
I did.
Damn. You know what? Give me Seattle. I mean, if you just signal caller versus signal caller, Russell Wilson is a way better quarterback than Blake Bortles. Give me the Seahawks.
I think Jaguars' defense is pretty damn underrated in all this. I don't think there's the national buzz for it and talk about it. It would be if it was another team, maybe a more high-profile team with a deeper history. On top of that, they are at home, so give me the Jaguars.
Yeah, so Seattle's still really beat up, and Jacksonville is not Detroit, so sorry about your luck there, Seattle. I did tell you that the Jaguars were going to be contenders at the beginning of the year. Jags.
So I'm all alone on this one, huh?
Yep.
All right. Put on my lone wolf hat. All right. This one might be my must-watch for the week because this is a division game too. Mm-hmm. SNF replacing Faith Hill with Carrie Underwood. Carrie Underwood wearing a whole lot of nothing in her intros, by the way. Baltimore at Pittsburgh. This is going to be an awesome fucking game. But give me Pittsburgh. Baltimore's offense doesn't fucking excite me. What their defense does. But, I mean, Antonio Brown tonight taking a huge hit, but still holding on to the ball. So we're recording this on Monday night. Yeah, give me Pittsburgh.
Yeah, these two teams don't like each other. And I don't think they're going to like each other anymore by the end of this game. But that's not going to change anything. Give me Pittsburgh.
Yeah, not really a must-watch for me. Ravens are who they are. Again, the Steelers aren't the Lions, so they're not going to make them look like all-stars that they did against the Lions. So, Steelers.
Monday Night Football, divisional game. But not really going to matter.
About fucking
Patriots.
The week.
Yeah, this probably will be it. Patriots heading down to Miami, taking on the Dolphins. Dolphins got themselves a win this week. They won't this week. Give me the Pats.
Yeah, give me the Pats.
Even without Gronk, Belichick finds a way. Patriots.
Yeah, it seems Rex Burkhead's the anointed white boy this year for Tom Brady. So, there you go. Playoffs starting to take shape in the NFL. Playoffs taking shape in fantasy football. None of us making it.
I didn't make it. I wanted to make it.
You could have made it. I don't think you did, though.
Well, congratulations to everybody that made the playoffs, that means that since we didn't, if they want to, the overall winner can fill that fourth chair and sit in with us for an episode.
Oh, so especially if it's Big Rob from the Weasel Podcast here at Christopher Media. Done that. Just come down there and talk match. The guy who picked a quarterback first with the first overall pick.
Fucking Brady, yes. I remember going over the picks going, what? That's the same thing everybody told me not to do.
Yeah, well, it's worked out for him.
Yeah, no shit, right?
But
How many spots are going to the playoffs?
6.
I might have made it.
Nope. Trust me, I've been crunching these numbers for the last week. I knew all the ins and outs of how I could make it.
There's what, 10 people in our league?
Yes.
And 4 of us don't make the playoffs, and all 3 hosts didn't make the playoffs.
Yes.
The odds of that happening.
Half-ass sports fans, people.
Yeah. Well, none of us need to buy green bananas for the next couple weeks. Seriously.
My season was fucked from the third quarter of the first game when I lost David Johnson. It all started unraveling right then. The theme of this year was injuries, everybody.
Well, I have learned
finished
something.
third in our half of the division. I'm in.
It goes by not because someone else had to lose for you to get in and they won. Let me look. I believe Rich's cousin had to lose, and she did not. She beat the fuck out of my cousin.
See? This is
It's like doubled them up.
whatever, man. Whatever. I'm just saying. Go ahead, Jess. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm 6-7, and they're 6-7. What are you talking?
Yeah, but she's going to be 7-6. That's what I'm saying. And then that Team Henry guy won too. That's what I'm saying. Our way in was that Team Henry guy, and then he was playing the fucking guy who stopped setting his lineup 3 months ago. So that was an automatic W for him. The 2 people that needed to lose for us to get in won. Plus, I fucking lost because Pittsburgh gave up 20 points. Bitches. Pittsburgh would have gave up 3 less points. I would have won by a point. But yeah, Iceman, our way in was those 2 people losing, and they both won. Trust me, I've been monitoring the situation for the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was fun though. We still get to play because I'm gonna set it up for how we finish will be the draft order for next year. So still gives you motivation to set your lineups.
Yeah, if you say so.
Hey, that one guy will automatically get last pick. The guy who's going to end up 1-12.
That's even if he comes back next season.
I know, right?
The only 3 guaranteed to come back are us.
I know, right? We'll fill a spot. Make a trophy. Rob can lord it over us when he wins it. But hey, now that we've done podcasting for the last 5 minutes, we'll just thank you for listening. Follow us on Twitter @SportyPodcast. Email the show, sports@ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook by searching for Christopher Media. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool. Only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film. Powder donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool. Only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.